Hey, I was just discussing things with Hugo, and you really got me going on the subject of the differences between men and women and how different we are, and yet, because we're human, we're all the same. And it's just, I just have so much to say about it. I just thought maybe I'd make a vlog about it. We were watching a particular Outer Limits, not the old one, but the new one. Um, I forgot how to pronounce the name of it, but I'll put the link below. And long story short, it's the story of the world was at war. There's a great war, and some kind of sickness came about and killed all the men, and the women were spared. So the women were ruling the world, and they had all these little things called enclaves where, you know, they raised their own food and crops and all this stuff and took care of each other. But things weren't perfect, you know. Things were still not perfect. And then there's this guy that comes in because he was cryogenically frozen. He comes in after all these years, and you know, things start to change a little bit. I'm not going to give it away. You can watch it for yourself. But the point is of all this is that these women start to get really angry toward the end because they think that because a man was introduced back into society, that he was the cause of all this animosity and hate and tension and violence, and that it's all about hate and violence and and conquering and power, and it's just because the man came in. Well, that's not it. That's not it. It's not it. I mean, these women were under a lot of pressure and tension as it was, maybe unsaid. They disguised it by being cooperative and peaceful with one another, but there was always something there, something underlying that nobody would talk about, an elephant in the room that they wouldn't talk about or discuss because they were just trying to keep peace and order and love and all this crap. I'm sorry, it's not crap, but you know what I'm saying. My point is, they were trying so hard to make the world perfect the way they want it to be, that they couldn't see that there was people above them that were still acting the way that they claimed all these men acted, even though these people above them were women. So it's like, it just drives me nuts when women think that it's only men that are causing all these problems. It's not just men, it's not just women, it's human beings. It's the fact that we're taking our talents, our strengths, and our weaknesses and using them in sinful ways. We're using them for bad. We're not using them for good. We're not using them to communicate with each other and solve conflicts like we should be in our everyday to-day relationships. We should be talking. We should be like, hey, you know what, this is bugging me. Let's talk about this so that we don't have a fight 10, 20 years down the road that's going to cause us to break up and all these other horrible things that might happen. Women, we are communicators. We are natural peacemakers. Use those gifts to open up instead of close down and not talk. Open up, talk to your guy, and say, hey, you know, I really need to talk about this. And chances are he's going to be like, okay, well, let's talk. What's bugging you, you know? How can I help you feel better? And there's your open communication right there. That can solve years and years of therapy and marriage counseling. I think Hugo's probably going to write a big article about this. So, hopefully you can hop on over to his channel, which I'm going to link below too. And if he does, you know, either make a video or article about it, I'll try to let you know. And maybe you can watch that episode of The Outer Limits and just kind of form an opinion on it, you know. If I get a lot of comments here, you know, great, you know, it would be great to have a discussion going, but if not, who cares? I just had to get this out. Thanks for listening. Later.